A day in a life of an entrepreneur is quite hectic for today. I have to actually prepare for a lot of meetings.
As a startup founder, multitasking is critical in running the show.
So it's all about giving equal opportunities to employees in everything that we do.
So we have a world-class office environment over here and we take care of it.
You have to be frugal all the time.
We value employee opinions a lot.
One of our key values of software engineering in our company is to be extremely honest with our customers.
We've all experienced these funny situations in our startup journeys, whether we admit it openly or keep it to ourselves. So here's a collection of all those funny situations we heard from you or experienced it ourselves after we started venture capital. And there's no better time than the season finale to showcase it. So here's a toast to that. Cheers! Our featured startup is by a guy who sold his first startup in college and has been on a roll winning B-plan competitions, presenting the chief, Shashank from TapChief.
TapChief is in fact our second company. So we built a company earlier in college. It was called Advice. It was an on-demand tutoring app. Fair bit there, grew the product to a good amount. And then sort of moved on to build TapChief because while building Advice, there were so many points in time when we felt that, how I wish I could have, timely expert advice, right? The guy I can pick up my phone and call and sort of get bounce off ideas and figure out what we are doing wrong. So I think that was the crucial tipping point for us to build TapChief. And we saw the same thing happening with our peers who were trying to do higher studies or who were trying to get good jobs. Everybody needed some form of guidance at some point in time. And I think we're trying to put together a nifty community. So TapChief is a community where anybody can come and interact and seek advice from professionals over a simple phone call. So that's what we are sort of enabling and making it happen in an extremely seamless manner. So primarily we see today calls being placed in the business advice segment and the career advice segment. That is, a kid wants to come in and figure out, I want a job in finance, in private equity. I am in this college today. Should I do an MBA? Should I do something else? And so on and so forth. But the reason a lot of them are so happy is because he plays that call and instantly he's on a conversation with somebody from an IIM who's already done everything that he wants to do over the next couple of years. So this kid gets to know if he even really wants to do that in the first place or not. So I think that sort of precaution and that sort of second opinion that TapChief offers is unparalleled because all of these guys are guys who have been there and done that, and that's why we're trying to get on a call with them.
Some of the winners who emerged from the food tech rat race were Swiggy and Foodpanda. We've really loved their fast and convenient service. Of late, we noticed that they charge for order packaging and we wanted to find out how it works. Let's say I wanted to order Chinese from a nearby restaurant. In the cart, there is an added charge for order packaging. So is Foodpanda or Swiggy charging anything extra for any custom packaging that they do? No. Now, if you visit the same kitchen for a takeaway, do they charge for packaging? No, the packaging is free. It seems that the restaurant is not getting paid for the packaging. This becomes even more clear when we order from Subway, where Swiggy is charging for order packaging for the standard paper wrap from Subway. So, is this their innovative revenue generating strategy or just a product glitch? HasGeek has always helped tech talent in the startup ecosystem. Hear the founders speak about upcoming trends and what you should be doing as a techie.
I think the most important language for anyone to learn is JavaScript. It's an extremely versatile language. It works on the desktop, it works on mobile, it works on the front end, it works on the back end. I think we are in this era where there is no question about this. This is the language to learn. It's also a language that is usually not on the curriculum. Fortunately, it's very easy to learn because you simply cannot avoid it. No matter what you're doing, you open your browser console, you're looking at JavaScript over there. So it's get good at the language. I think that's the first thing that you should do if you want to be in the industry.
So what's emerged right now is, a sort of a whole interdisciplinary, a job that requires you to have an interdisciplinary perspective. Similarly, there are many companies right now who are, sort of looking for programmers who also understand statistics. And this is the case with all companies right now who are sort of like, looking at mining their data and things like that. So you no longer just require somebody who knows Python and who knows engineering, but also somebody who has an interest in statistics and being able to mine data and being able to kind of make sense of it.
If you thought the best use case of virtual reality was watching certain things with a point of view, which it certainly is, there are some startups that are putting this to very good use.
So what we do is for the people, for example, a couple who is staying apart between India and US. So they might be calling each other maybe through a normal phone call or through Skype or WhatsApp, whatever. So we thought how we can improve this through virtual reality. When someone calls you from US, they can call through our teleport call and they can select an experience before the call connects. When the call is connected on each end, they both will be in a virtual LAN and also they can talk to each other. So it will give you a complete new experience on the way how do you call the other person normally.
And now, over to Manny for the beer report. Android N announces official name Nougat, but I will still continue to call it Nayappa. Government announces 10,000 crore funding for startup. Don't be happy, they only announce. Beer startup Bira 91 runs out of beer. Don't underestimate the power of the common man. Kunal Shah leads Indian CEOs to China. So is this trip free or charged? Uber testing upfront fares. Now it's only $50 to the beer shop. One of our fans asked this question on Twitter. I am starting up. Should I name my startup like Book My Show, which explains my service, or like Ola?
More so importantly, if you give a quirky word, it sticks in mind in some sense. And then you would like to associate with that particular brand. Nike doesn't mean anything, right? On the face of it. Adidas, I don't know what it means. So it just sticks. Buy My Shoe is dumbing it down a little bit. So my perception is that you should go with something which is unique and quirky rather than saying what it is. But the other argument to that is that it makes it very easy to communicate to people what Book My Show is, Buy My Shoe is. You don't have to work hard on telling people what it is. Whereas Ola or a Nike or Adidas have to spend a lot of money to say what it is. But then that sticks longer than this. I would want to be a part of a larger brand which is unique than being. So we used to be called Rent Your Dunya before. Rent Your Dunya, and changed to Furlenco. That was a conscious. This is exactly the reason for it. We do Rent Your Dunya sounds very not $1 billion company. Furlenco will be $1 billion company.
In last week's contest, we asked you to identify what the logo represents. The answer is AngularJS. The winner is Yogesh. Congratulations! You won yourselves Venture Capital original merchandise. Though we've experienced some of the most funny situations in our startup journeys, they've only pushed us to a certain level of craziness. We asked some upcoming startups about the craziest things that they've done in their startup journey. There is no better place than here.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing I've done is, walk into some of these top enterprises and tell them that I'm from another big company, and then you need to get into offices and you need to use names and people to get into offices. So.
What's the craziest thing you've done?
One day randomly I just started, it was day one, and I just went to, and talked to random people, pitched my idea and got some seed funding from him.
I left one very good startup and joined a bootstrap startup.
So the craziest thing was that we were buying in an auction, and as soon as we went for the auction, it was a DRT, so it was a bank auction, there were 3 or 4 guys standing up front me and saying, "Boss, you are not giving auction of this property." And I was like, I don't know how and from where that craziness came into me, and I said, "Boss, if I can come to 2000 kilometers far off from my place and do this business, damn sure I can take care of it." And I said it and moved out, but anyone who was near to me at that moment could see me shaking like anything.
So I got drunk and pitched to probably like 50 different investors.
So we went about distributing pamphlets in Chinnaswamy Stadium during the match, and it was apparently against the law. And we got threatened, people threatened to sue us and all that, but we still did it anyways and distributed all the pamphlets.
So that's it for season 1. We had a great time. See you all in season 2. Stay ambitious.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck paying for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop, the box, staying still. Go hard, then busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make a motherfucker wonder if you did it. Damn right, and I do it again. Cause I am right, so I got to win. Break bread with the enemy. No matter how many cats I break.